Hello everybody, and welcome back if this is you joining us for the third video on my YouTube page. Today I'm talking about another Maybelline foundation. If you can't see a theme here, I love Maybelline. None of this is sponsored. May I add, all of this I bought with my own money. In today's video it's the Maybelline Dream Radiant Liquid. This is the bottle. It contains hyaluronic acid. I love hyaluronic acid. If you have fine lines or mature skin, this is really just going to give you that healthy glow, plump up any lines. It's just a beautiful foundation, and as you can see I have redness all over my face, and this foundation does really well to cover that up as well as hydrating the skin throughout the day. So you don't use a primer with this because you don't really want that barrier between your skin and the hyaluronic acid. When I first tried this foundation I was really baffled by it because I tried to apply it with a brush. It just wouldn't sit on the skin, it wouldn't do anything, and I started to think, is it like a tinted moisturiser? But instead of moisture it's hydration. And then it was later on that night when I thought about it, it contains hyaluronic acid, and what is hyaluronic acid like? It likes water. So this is my first get ready with me video. I do hope you enjoy it. We're not rushing today because I really just want to take the time to enjoy putting the makeup on, and for hopefully you to get to know me a little bit better. And we're in no rush because we have nowhere to go. So this is really just a really simple makeup look for today, and we'll be doing a bit of eyeshadow and a bit of blusher. And I have a damp sponge here all ready to go. I squeeze out the water, but I would say I would leave it a little bit more than just damp, just to help with that water, but you don't want it soaking. But as you can see already, the only thing I have on my skin is my moisturiser. My skin was cleansed and then I just went in with a light moisturiser underneath this. But already you can see that really nice glow. It does dry down slightly, but you retain that hydrated look. I do go over this in the end with a light fine dusting of powder just to dry it down a wee bit and help keep it in place, but it does stay there for the entire day. It's a really nice foundation to use, and also you don't feel it on the skin. I have matte foundations and your nose starts to tickle a little bit when it's dry, and with this you don't get any of that. It's just a really nice gentle foundation. And as I've been doing in previous videos, I'm going to cover one side of my face first so that you can get a good idea as to what coverage you get out of it. But already, let's just go over it once, it really diffuses that redness. And as I said before, I have hyperpigmentation and it's really bad above my eyebrows, so you can see it there. It makes my eyebrow look slightly higher, or like there's a shadow. And sometimes when I see my skin, it's the only way I can describe it is it's like a mottled look, and it's not until you really put foundation on and it diffuses all the colour out of the skin that I feel that's when my skin looks really nice and fresh. And obviously I've got breakouts, I've got broken veins, so I do like foundation to really cover me. I can't really get away with a light coverage foundation, and the bottle of this doesn't really say a lot on it other than it improves the skin's look, and that's it. It doesn't really say much else. And I'm glad I did get it. I actually got it as a buy one get one free, and I was in getting my normal Maybelline foundation, which is the Super Stay, and I saw that. I'd never seen it before, had never heard it before, and I'm glad I picked it up now because it really just, it's strange, because at the end of the day it's like I almost want to say my skin feels heavy, but in a good way, as if there's so much hydration there. Your skin just feels beautiful. It's almost like having a facial throughout the day, but it's your makeup that's doing it. It really is just, it's so comfortable to wear, and it's versatile. If you've got really dehydrated skin, you could put this on and not put any powder on it. and if you've got fine lines or anything like that, it's really going to help plump those up.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes.
And it doesn't really have a fragrance, but there is a slight smell. It's not your typical foundation smell. If you've used hyaluronic acid, really it smells like that. It's pleasant, but it's not overpowering. So I think really that's this side of the face done. So there's the side that doesn't have anything on it other than the moisturiser. And you can see how red it is. This is a broken vein. It's really hard to cover that because it's slightly raised. So even when that is covered, you get a slight shadow below it, which makes it look like it's not covered. So you'll see that in just a second when I do go in to cover that. You'll see this sort of shadow that makes it look as though it hasn't covered, but it has. So on the eyes, it does crease. When you go in with a powder in your eyeshadow, it's absolutely fine, but it does crease until you set it. But obviously you can just take your sponge and flatten it all out. But I would definitely say to try this with a damp sponge and not a brush. But you are more than welcome to try and let me know, did it work for you? Even in the other videos, I saw one other video where someone had tried this foundation and they applied it with a brush, and they also said it was really difficult to apply that way. You didn't really get a nice finish, whereas when they used the damp sponge, they got a far better finish, more coverage than they did using the brush. I love all methods of applying foundation. I love the different effects, sort of different levels of coverage and finishes that you get. And this sponge, it's not a beauty blender, it's actually a Primark sponge. It was a set of 2 and I think it's called their marble range. I might be wrong. But the sponges are beautiful. They swell up quite a bit and they're really, really soft. Really nice. The only thing is that my other sponge that came in the set, it was the blunt top, goes into like a wedge and it's a blunt top. It's really great for doing near your eyes. When I washed it, somehow it seemed to split at one side. And that was actually my favourite one. This is really the first time I've used this, although I tried to film this earlier and it just went so wrong. And with this quarantine, I've really noticed that I'm trying a lot more makeup looks. I'm watching more videos on how to do different things and just being more adventurous really, and trying to keep busy during the lockdown. And I'm quite interested to know how you are all coping with the lockdown. Are you in the UK? Are you somewhere else? What's changed for you? What's the positives that you found during the lockdown? All of that good stuff. We need a little bit of positivity. And you can see it looks quite dewy, but this side's not as dewy because obviously it's the side that I did first. So it does dry down slightly. And as I say, I like to set this just lightly with a pressed powder over the top. And that just, I feel, keeps it in place all day. But do you see what I mean about how it just makes that skin look really fresh? And throughout the day this continuously hydrates, and you can use your moisturiser underneath. I wouldn't use a silicone moisturiser underneath. I think you might get it, it might start to pile if you did. But I use a light moisturiser under this and it's perfect. And the other good thing about this foundation is you can bring it down the neck. I haven't noticed any transfer with it, but it's really good to hydrate your neck as well as your face. But I do think the only way I could describe this really is it's quite an elegant foundation. And I have a lot of redness. I've not been feeling particularly good today. I've had a really bad headache. and my skin's been quite flushed and I feel quite tired. But everything's fine other than that. Just this banging headache that won't go away. It wasn't there when I got up this morning, but it just progressed. And that was also why I didn't get this video done sooner. I was just trying to drink plenty of water, painkillers, also tried to have a sugary tea to see if maybe that was causing the headache. But it started to lift now, thankfully. Just giving that a little bit extra. And I have a mirror below here so as I can properly see that I am blending this in quite well, instead of gauging just by the camera. There's nothing worse than when you're doing this and you don't look at the mirror and then you edit this on a big screen and you see little bits of foundation that you never seen, that you never blended in. Also, what's your favourite foundation? Let me know about that because I'm always intrigued to hear what makeup people use. I don't just use Maybelline, I have other makeups there. It's just Maybelline for me is quite a safe brand to go with. It really works for my skin. I get really good coverage out of their stuff. I've got Rimmel, I've got Collection 2000, I've got Huda Beauty, I've got Farrah, I've got Primark foundations, and all of them I'll be doing videos on. So I'm always keen to hear what foundations other people are using and what they like, and it gives me more ideas to try. So I think that's us. I think that's as much coverage that we're going to get. Do you see what I mean? I think this is just such a beautiful foundation, even if you did just leave it like that. But I don't think you could have too much of this foundation on, because it's like the more you get out of the bottle and on your face, the more hydration you're going to get into that skin, and it's just, it really does feel like a facial. And when it comes to taking your makeup off at night, your skin's not dry and tired looking, which sometimes if you're using a really matte foundation, sometimes I find when it comes to taking that off, by night time your skin can look just dry, dehydrated and quite tired. But with this, it just, your skin feels really nice and fresh when you take it off. So I'm going in with my W7 Face Flawless Face Pressed Colour Correcting Mineral Powder. This is the packaging. Inside it's got your little colour correcting beads. I wouldn't say it was really like a mineral, I've used mineral foundations and I wouldn't say it was really like a mineral foundation. I would say it was just more like a translucent pressed foundation. And if you have, like me, got quite a lot of redness, my favourite thing to use to set my foundation is a pressed foundation, because it just offers that little bit more coverage. And if you have got raised lumps, blemishes, or like me, broken veins that are raised, if you apply a powder on that, it can stop the raised parts being so prominent, because it's a bit like when you want to highlight the high points of your face, like your cheekbones, top lip, you highlight them, and sometimes if you have got a raised part of the skin, it picks up the light quite well and emphasises that raised part. But you see what I mean? How you can just ever so slightly see that broken vein. How I would love for that to be removed. I have no idea what you do to get rid of them. As far as I'm aware, it's a laser to get rid of them. If you've had that done, feel free to comment below and let me know. Also, I am trying to upload every day because I do my makeup every day, so why not? And also really enjoy doing these videos. So that's me set it. As you can see, we still have that beautiful glow to the skin. Obsessed with that, so happy. I'm going to go in with a highlighter. It's a really gentle highlighter, nothing crazy, nothing like diamonds on your face, and it's from the PS range at Primark, and it's in the shade Breeze, and it's Summer Storm highlighter. There it is. and it was £3.50. You don't get any fallout or kickback with this product. It's really nice and light. It looks really natural, and I do more go for the natural looking things rather than the really looking like Tin Man, but that is just personal preference. I do have highlighters that do make me look like Tin Man for when I feel like looking like him. You see what I mean? It's just ever so light, and I think it's really nice to complement that foundation. And I don't want to add too much powder to this. I want my skin to keep that hydration going, and because I do tend to have more dry skin, if I use too much powder on my makeup, it's just going to make my skin produce more oil, which means I'm going to get breakouts, and breakouts for me just, they take forever to go away. So I'm going in with this blush. This is a new blush. I actually received it in a Birchbox subscription, and it's got from the brand Dome. I've never heard of them, and the blush is in English Rose. This is it. To me, I would personally describe this as a muted blush. I think this is one that's quite a safe blush for many skin tones. It's not vibrant, it's not overpowering, it's just a really nice gentle blush of the cheeks. So if you like quite a gentle blush to look quite natural, I would say this one. And I'm just going to tap that onto the cheekbone. And I do just, do you see what I mean? It's quite natural looking. And I do blush really easily. And my full face can go bright red. And I don't like blush personally that is bright red, because I feel that then sometimes when I do naturally flush, it looks even deeper on my cheeks, whereas this, if I did flush, I just look like one colour, and that's fine. But you see what I mean? It's just a really, really nice, light, natural looking blush. Now this blush is £28. Apparently, I have seen better from Primark in pretty much the exact same shades for £1.50 or £2. And the brush I use to apply that is the teardrop brush. Tapered blush brush, sorry. And it's from Moda. This is my favourite blush brush. It's so soft. And it's just a really nice way that I like to apply that blusher. It just puts it on beautifully, and it's very precise with having the tapered end. So next I'm going to do my eyes, and I really only use two brushes for this look, which is a flat one and a blending one. This blending one is from Moda. That was a little set that I picked up, and I love it. It was more the handles and the colour. It's like the unicorn horn handle. It's just really nice, and they're comfortable to hold. They're not awkward. I know some of the brushes that have been kicking about lately I've been really uncomfortable and impractical to use because of the shapes of the handles, but those ones, they're really good. I've never had any trouble. So the eyeshadow I'm going to be using is one that I would use day to day. It's really pretty. It's quite subtle but noticeable, and it's Forgive Me Susie. Does it say Naturally Yours? This is the one, and I'm going to be using pretty much all the shades except this one, and I'll be going into the crease ever so slightly with the end one at the end. So you'll see just how pigmented these are. They are lovely. That came in a Birchbox the other month when I actually cancelled the subscription to them. And I'm just putting this in the corner of the eye. Did you see? I think it just really opens your eye and goes really well again with the foundation. It's quite sparkly, it's quite fresh. And I can have quite tired eyes. And I just find this little eyeshadow palette's great for just giving you that more fresh-eyed look. And it's so easy to use as well. Really easy. And then the next colour I'm going in with is this pink. It's a matte pink. it's quite pigmented. You do get a lot of kickback with the pink, not so much that first colour we went with, but the pink you get fallout and quite a bit of kickback. But the colour payoff is quite good, I would say. Sometimes I find pink eyeshadows, you're building the layers up to really get colour payoff, whereas this, it's not too bad. However, you do get fallout and kickback. And it's a really pretty pink. It's not an in-your-face pink. It's subtle enough, again, and noticeable. And it just complements the highlighted part really well. And I like to go just ever so slightly up onto the eye socket. And sometimes I do bring it right up to the eyebrow, not all the time. Depends what kind of look I'm going for, what I'm doing that day. As of now with the lockdown, I am doing absolutely nothing. Which is why I am quite enjoying getting ready with you guys. And I hope this is fun for you as well. One thing I am super grateful for is technology, the ability to buy online, communicate with others online. I was in a Zoom meeting for the first time today and I was so nervous because I'd never been on like a group meeting before, and it was my first time there, but it was absolutely fantastic and it was so nice to see new faces, so nice. So if any of you are watching this, hello, thank you for stopping by. Please leave a little comment, let me know you've been here. I will reply. But there we go, I'm only shading that little top bit just up onto the eye socket, and this is quite a fluffy tapered brush as well. You can go in with quite a blunt fluffy brush, it doesn't really matter. I just personally prefer this one for this look. And there we go, and now I'm going to go in with the brown colour, the matte brown, which is this one here. Does anybody else find that if, like me, when you have your nails done, that for some reason when you have your nails done, it's like you gouge at your eyeshadow palette, but if you don't have your nails done, you never seem to touch it? Is it just me? Might just be me. Let me know in the comments again. I will reply. So I'm just going into the crease in the outer corner with this brown, and this just adds a bit of warmth and depth to the eye. This isn't really a cut crease. I don't really know what you would call it, but do you see what I mean? It just warms it up. And again on the other eye. But this eye look, I've been wearing it for a few days and I really like it. I think it's just really simple, really pretty, and just, I think it's just really nice. And because it's quite a neutral colour, it doesn't matter what you're wearing, it just looks really pretty. Let me know what your favourite eyeshadow palette is. I'm always looking for suggestions when it comes to eyeshadow, because up until, I would say, the beginning of last year, I wasn't really adventurous with eyeshadow colours. I was quite bland. I went for neutral browns, creams, and now I'm into really vivid colours, especially orange, a colour I never thought I would wear. And I love orange. I think it's so beautiful, I think it's so unusual. I have a palette there that I will do a video on. It's got green, purple, orange, and I can't remember the other colour. It's such a bizarre palette, and it was from Primark and they were all reduced to like 20p because nobody was buying them, probably because of the strange colour. However, I put it on, got a lot of good feedback on Instagram. Even my mum was really happy to see this colour that was just so bizarre, orange, green and purple, but it looked so pretty and it was so colourful. And again, I didn't have any clothes that matched that colour, but it was just one of those colours that it suited everything somehow. So I'm not actually, in fact no I will. I was going to say I wasn't going to go in with that glittery brown, this end colour, but I think I am, just to ever so slightly deepen up the outer corners of this look. I only needed 2 brushes for this look. I don't like complicated things. I don't like things where it requires hundreds of different brushes and products. I'm also quite a strange person when it comes to a palette. I can't go to another palette and use a colour. I can, but I just find it really strange and weird. But I'm going to disappear off the camera. I'm going to do my eyeliner and the mascara. Then I'll come back and we can do a little rundown on this look. In fact, I'll put some lipstick on and I'll tell you which one I used. So back in just a sec. Get a tea, juice, we'll see you soon. Hello beautiful people, we're back. Lashes are done. Well, they're my own lashes. There's mascara there. They're the eyeliner and the lipstick. One thing I also want to talk about is the mascara I've been using. It is the L'Oreal Paradise Extatic. It's waterproof. This is one of the best mascaras I have ever used. However, you cannot get it off. You need to use an oil cleanser to get it off, and it does take a while. It doesn't matter how much you cry or what weather Scotland will throw at you. This is budge proof, and I mean budge proof. I swear it almost tints your eyelashes as well, but it is beautiful. See, when you really curl those lashes, if you don't put eyeliner on, it's like hairspray for your eyes. It really holds it, it doesn't budge, and it still takes a little bit to get it off with an oil cleanser, but it's fantastic. The eyeliner that I used is the PS Liquid Eyeliner from Primark. This must have been like 50 pence or something, and the lipstick is a matte lipstick from Primark as well. What shade are you? It's called Naked Flame, and it's a beautiful one. I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but it's just a really nice lipstick without being too dramatic and too much. But I really hope you enjoyed getting ready with me today. I will be doing more videos. I'll be doing one tomorrow as well. I hope you like this look. If you want to see more from me, subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell so that you can get notifications of my upcoming videos. And I'll see you again. So bye.